Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. The first game of the Rugby World Cup has just concluded. And I mean, brilliant start to the World Cup. I mean, it was physical. It was hot out there. You could see the boys gave it their all. Of course, France coming out as the victors. 29-13 over the All Blacks. But I mean, overall, both teams already knew they were going through. It's more so just, it feels almost like a consolation victory. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You're either playing South Africa, Ireland or Scotland in the quarterfinals. But I mean, a statement victory for the French. I think in the first half, to be honest, I thought New Zealand were the better team. I thought they had better chances. I mean, they came out with a flyer. Rieko Ioane, I thought, had an absolutely brilliant game, to be fair. There's a couple of standout players for New Zealand overall that had an absolutely brilliant game. Rieko Ioane, one of them, in the first minute. I think it was like almost the first phase. Massive line break, went all the way through. Of course, Mark Delia scored in the corner. He scored a brace, which was absolutely brilliant. But New Zealand came out to play. But the French in the second half were brilliant. To be fair, I don't think they gave New Zealand too much to work with. Aldred was absolutely immense. I mean, truly. He was absolutely brilliant. Now, of course, it's not great for the confidence when you look at it from a New Zealand perspective to lose that opening game. But I mean, there's a lot of positive talking points for New Zealand to take from this game, to be honest. I'm not here sugarcoating anything. Well done to the French, because they were absolutely brilliant. Of course, I know a lot more about New Zealand than I know about the French team. But I mean, this is the first time I'm going to award something to a player, and it's a wooden spoon, if you will say, for that first half performance for Ethan de Groot. I mean, truly, I think he was at fault for almost all 9 points that was conceded, from the scrums to to New Zealand having an attacking ball, knocking the ball, kick over the top, chase down from Dupont to put a lot of pressure on the New Zealand team. I really think he struggled, but of course with that comes, I don't know if maybe I'm just a bit delusional, but I felt like Antonio didn't scrum. It felt like it was all just technical penalties. He collapsed, but it just felt like it's almost like a scrum instead of this. Like this happened and he just crumbled in there. It's odd, very odd, because I know Ethan de Groot is absolutely amazing, probably one of the best props in the world. So I don't know. It just felt very odd. I think Cody Taylor had a quiet game. Most of the forwards for New Zealand, in my opinion, had a bit of a quiet game. But overall, absolutely brilliant game. I mean, just looking at the French team, the two standout players for me was Aldred and Jalibert. I thought Penaud didn't even touch the ball in the first half, but he had a very, very good second half performance. On the New Zealand side, I mean, Adi Savia, very, very quiet. Very quiet, in my opinion. Of course, put over a left-footed dink for the try, the second try for Mark Delia, which was absolutely brilliant, to be fair. Richie Mwanga showed he's the best 10 in the world. I mean, he's my man of the match for New Zealand. I mean, you could say he made a couple of mistakes here and there, but I mean, the brilliance that he shows when he gets the ball in hand, he's so calm under pressure. A lot of times, calm under pressure, steps one defender, gets that ball out wide to Mark Delia, just to slow it down almost for his defenders to come back, get into that ruck and secure the ball. I thought he had an absolutely brilliant game. Rieko Ioane was good, and Will Jordan just decided to absolutely run through every single play in the air. I mean, how can you... I think it was like 4 times he did it. The first one was competitive in the air, so there was no issues there. But the second time he just ran straight through. I think it was Ramos in the air. The second time he got the yellow. I don't agree that it should have been yellow. I think the fact that those are given yellows with the like his eyes are on the ball. Yeah, he takes out the play. It's a penalty, but the player doesn't land awkwardly or anything. It's just on the side. It's just a normal penalty. I mean, compare that one to Colby getting taken out of the air against Wales, and that was just a penalty. And then, of course, the last one, in my opinion, Jaco Peyper should have turned that around. That was blatant obstruction, which made him fall over into Ramos, who just slotted 3 points. It was just a gifted 3 points for obstruction from the French, in my opinion. But I mean, in that second half, it was just all France, to be honest. I mean, first half close. I think it was a game of two halves, to be honest. I think New Zealand were the better team in the first half. I don't think the French really got a sniff. But in the second half, it just totally switched up. I mean, of course, New Zealand scored a try. I mean, where was the French defense on that second try for Marc Delia? But in that second half, it just totally flipped. When the substitutes came on for the French, it was crazy. I mean, I think it was Jaminet, player 23 for the French, came on, made about 20 steals from the ground, scored a try there at the end. I mean, it was just crazy. It was brutal, that second half. Of course, make this an interactive video. Let me know what you think about it. As I said, I literally just came from watching the video. Very good start to the World Cup, but I wouldn't worry about it too much as a New Zealand supporter. Just go through it, get some momentum playing your next games. Just beat Italy, go on to smash Namibia, and I can't even remember who's the other team in the group. Just another wannabe team. Just smash those teams, get your momentum, go into the quarterfinals. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't look into it too much. I think it's a good confidence booster for France to get that first victory. I predicted France to win this game. I wanted New Zealand to win this game. I've been pretty open about it. But France winning this game, I think it's good for the World Cup, good for the spirit, good for the crowd to get involved. Of course, the crowd was crazy. Anything New Zealand did wrong, you just heard massive boos around the field. And I mean, expect it. That's what you're gonna get when you play in France against France in this World Cup. It's one of those things. Anyway, let me know what you think about what you thought about the game. Do you look at this game negatively from the New Zealand point of view, or do you look at it the same way I do, with a positive mindset, good takeaways from the game, knowing Brodie Retallick is back on the field? I mean, that was a surprise. I didn't even know until I watched the game that Sam Cane isn't even playing. I was so surprised to see Sam Cane not playing and then get Brodie Retallick on the field. I mean, crazy. Get that Voldemort all over the field. For the next game, you have Sam Whitelock, you got Brodie Retallick, you got Scott Barrett. I mean, it's just up from here. Let me know what you thought about it. See you next time.